I never thought I'd live to see the day when Hold My Beer became the galaxy's ultimate red alert. Name's Mark, ex-freight pilot for the Earth Fleet, and I was there when it all kicked off. It was a regular night at the Tau Ceti Orbital Station, a grimy pit stop crawling with aliens, tentacle guys, glowing eye freaks, you name it. I was at the bar nursing a cold one with my crew when the conversation hit the usual spot. Humans are nuts. The Xenos, that's what we call the ETs, always ragged on us for being reckless, and I'd had enough of it. I grabbed my beer can, stood up and said, "Hold my beer, watch this." The crew cracked up thinking it was just talk. But I had a dumb idea brewing, and I'm not the type to back down from a jab. I walked out of the bar, can in hand, straight to the hangar, where our ship, the Black Pearl, was parked. The Xenos gave me weird looks, but didn't stop me. Probably figured I was just stretching my legs. They had no clue I was about to flip the universe upside down. I glanced back at my crew through the bar window, winked, and thought, here we go. Popped the hatch, slid into the cockpit, and fired up the engines. The roar shook the hangar, and the station's alarms started blaring. All hell broke loose fast. I'd rigged the Black Pearl for manual flight, something the Xenos thought was insane since they leaned on AIs for everything. As the engines warmed up, I heard a Zarkian officer yelling over the comms, "Human, what are you doing?" I shot back, cool as ice. "Relax, just taking her for a spin." Truth was, I wanted to test a crazy plan I'd cooked up the week before. Run a 200-ton freighter through an asteroid field at max speed just to prove I could. The Xenos were all about safety, perfect math, never took risks. Me? I grew up tearing, through back roads on a beat-up motorcycle in Texas, so this was a walk in the park. The Pearl lurched off the dock, and that familiar thrill hit my gut, the kind I got every time I did something stupid. Through the viewport, I saw station officers scrambling, tentacles flailing in a panic. Over the radio, someone shouted I'd screw up orbital traffic. I laughed and punched the throttle harder. The asteroid field loomed ahead, a spinning mess of rocks waiting to smash me to bits. I grabbed the mic, put on my best announcer voice, and said, "Ladies and gentlemen, feast your eyes on this." Then I threw the ship forward, diving into the madness. The first rocks came at me quick. One grazed the hull, leaving a scratch I knew I'd catch hell for later. Didn't care, though. My heart was pounding, hands sweaty on the stick, dodging. Boulders the size of houses. The Pearl groaned with every twist, metal creaking like it was begging me to stop. On the comms, the Xenos were losing it, yelling in tongues I didn't know, probably cussing me out 6 ways to Sunday. One of Elduar, then some guy named Krixar screamed, "You humans are a galactic menace." I just chuckled and said, "Thanks for the compliment, buddy." A massive rock popped up dead ahead, and I yanked the stick hard, spinning the ship sideways. The collision alarm went nuts, but I smacked it off, no distractions needed. It was all about feeling the flow, dancing with the danger, out there. The station's drones tried to keep up, but they couldn't match my moves. I was in my zone, laughing like a fool as chunks of asteroid blasted against the shields. The Xenos had their fancy AIs, but I had gut, and that's something they'd never get. Things got dicey when a bus-sized asteroid barreled straight for my windshield. No dodging that. It was too big, too fast. I thought fast, popped the cargo bay, and dumped half our ore haul into space. The rock slammed into it, exploding in a flash like 4th of July fireworks. The Pearl shook hard, and for a second, I thought she'd break apart. But she held strong, tough as nails, like me. Over the comms, a Xeno screeched I'd breached. 50 safety regs. I tossed back an oops and kept going, the path clear thanks to my quick fix. Check the dash. Halfway through the field, and believe it or not, no major damage. The station drones were toast, and I pictured the Xenos freaking out, pulling their hair, or whatever they had, out. Then a galaxy-wide alert crackled through. "Attention, maximum threat detected, source human." I busted out, laughing so hard I nearly choked. They meant me, and I wasn't even done yet. cranked the speed up just to be a jerk, and aimed for the field's edge. Breaking out the other side was a high I'll never top. The Pearl shot through like a bullet, hull sparking from the grind. I was drenched in sweat, grinning like an idiot, adrenaline pumping. The comms were a circus. Xenos in emergency talks, hashing out how to deal with the human threat. One suggested sending a fleet to nab me, but a smarter one cut in, "No use. They'll do something worse." He was spot on. I wasn't stopping there. Glanced at the star chart and saw an unstable wormhole a few clicks out. The Xenos steered clear of it, like it was cursed. Too risky, too wild. For me, perfect challenge. I swung the ship around, lined up the course, and thought, why not? Before jumping, I patched into the station's comms and said, if anyone asks, it was just a joyride. Then I plunged into the wormhole, no looking back. It felt like getting sucked through a blender. Everything spinning, lights flashing, the ship howling in protest. But I was laughing, because that's what being human's all about. On the other side, I had no clue where I'd landed. The space was weird. Red stars, nebulae pulsing like they were alive. The Pearl was intact somehow, but the console blinked with damage warnings. Ignored them and checked the sensors. A Xenofleet was nearby, huge ships, lit up, closing, in fast. A metallic voice barked over the radio, "Human, identify or be destroyed." I leaned back, casual. Mark from Earth just dropping by. Dead air, then chaos, sounded like they were freaking out. Guess my asteroid stunt had gone viral across the galaxy. The ships froze, unsure, and I scoped the place out. It was pretty, in a creepy way, but I wasn't sticking around. They hit me with another warning. Surrender now. I laughed and said, "No dice, pals." Spun the Pearl and spotted a smaller wormhole half hidden. Before they could catch me, I jumped again, just to leave them hanging. That second jump was wilder. Popped out in a corner of the galaxy their maps didn't even touch. A black void with one lonely planet floating in it. I dropped down to check it out, curiosity getting the better of me. It was a barren stretch of black rock, winds howling, like ghosts. Poking around, I found ruins, old structures covered in symbols I couldn't read. Then I saw it. Fresh human footprints in the dust. My pulse kicked up. Had some other nutcase been here? Grabbed the ship's recorder and started, talking just in case I didn't make it back. Day whatever. Mark here, found a lost planet, and looks like I ain't the first. The Pearl's radio picked up a faint signal, an old message in English. If you're here, congrats, hold my beer and keep going. I cracked up alone in that wasteland. Whoever it was, they were my kind of crazy, kept exploring, even as the Iki sensors warned the air was turning toxic. Humans, right? We don't quit. The Xenos were hunting me now. While I messed with the ruins, lights flashed overhead, tracking ships sweeping the planet. They were spooked and I couldn't blame them. I'd turned into a galactic headache just by being stubborn. Snagged some artifacts from the ruins, glowing cubes humming in my hands, and bolted back to the Pearl. A galaxy-wide broadcast hit the comms. Warning to all species. Human threat level raised to maximum. Avoid contact. I climbed aboard and took off as Xenoships fired warning shots. Dodged them easy. They were too precise, too predictable. Tossed the cubes on the co-pilot seat and scanned the horizon. Another wormhole popped up, bigger, shakier. Thought of that message guy and muttered, "Hold it, bro." Dove in full throttle. Shots bursting behind me. The Pearl took the hit, and I came out in a psychedelic galaxy stretch. Red, purple, blue, all swirling. Checked the cubes. They were glowing brighter. Had I just stumbled onto something huge? I drifted a while, trying to figure out my spot. The cube started humming low like a heartbeat. Fired up the recorder again. Mark here. Think I grabbed something the Xenos don't want me to have. Then the radio caught a live signal, a human voice. "Hey, lunatic, where you at?" My chest lit up. I shot back, in a trippy spot with some weird cubes. "You?" He laughed. "Welcome to the club. Hang tight. We'll find you." Another human lost like me, but kicking. While I waited, Xeno ships rolled in, more this time, itching to take me out. The cubes flared up and the pearl started shaking. Must have triggered something by accident. The guy yelled over the comms, "Watch out, that's ancient tech." Before I could reply, a pulse blasted from the cubes, dropping the Xeno ships like flies. I stared, jaw on the floor. Guess I'd turned into a walking weapon, met up with that human, later John, another stubborn jerk like me from back home. He explained the cubes were relics from some dead civilization built to fry xenotech. We cracked open some beers he'd stashed, toasted our dumb luck, and laughed. The Xenos were retreating, and the galaxy was on edge because of us. Heard an official broadcast. Humans are an unpredictable plague, threat level beyond maximum. John smirked and said, "Think we overdid it?" I grinned. Nah, just getting started. We stuck around, exploring, stirring up more trouble. The Xenos tried. Negotiating, offering peace, but we just laughed. Humans don't stop, not when it's fun. The cubes were ours now, and the universe could deal. Just another hold my beer day. Life turned into one endless ride. Me and John set up a base in that colorful galaxy patch, using the cubes to build stuff the Xenos couldn't dream of. We became legends. The Earth crazies no one could stop. Every time a fleet showed up, we'd hit them with a cube pulse and watch them scatter. They quit chasing, started begging us to chill instead. But chilling ain't my style, or John's. We hit new planets, dug up more relics, and the human threat level kept climbing. One day caught a Xeno hologram debate. How do we stop humans? One answered, "You can't." They say, "Hold my beer and it's game over." We laughed till we choked. Damn right. The galaxy learned, mess with us, you're toast. And we were just warming up. Years rolled by and word spread. More humans showed up, drawn by our tales. We became a crew, a loud, messy pack of Earthlings, pulling off the impossible. The Xenos gave up trying to figure us out and started steering clear. Found another message in some ruins one day. You're the chaos this galaxy needed. Don't know who left it, but it hit me proud. We weren't just a threat anymore. We were a force they couldn't tame. The cubes got stronger, and the pearl turned into a legend, carrying our name everywhere. John and I would stare out at the stars, beers in hand, cracking up at the insanity of it all. The galaxy was ours, and we weren't letting go. That's being human. Spot the danger, chug your beer and say, "Let's roll." Here's my story. Started with a dumb bar stunt and ended with the galaxy shaking at the sound of my name. If you dug this wild ride, smash that like button. Lets me know you're the type who doesn't back down. Subscribe for more tales like this, 'cause I've got plenty left to tell. Maybe one day I'll call you to hold my beer. Catch you later.